Donald Trump's self-imposed deadline for coming up with hundreds of trade deals from the alleged hundreds of countries that have, of course, been knocking down their door just saying, please make a trade deal with us. Well, that deadline is coming up on July 9th. So Trump has effectively 9 days to come up with over 200 trade deals because they said that over 200 countries have called them. And yet here we are 9 days out, and Trump has a grand total of 0 trade deals. Not one. According to recent reports, the Trump administration, based on their own admissions, has 2 frameworks of deals with 2 countries, and that is, of course, presumed to be China, which is the biggest one, and the United Kingdom. But those are not actual deals. Those are not terms that either side has officially agreed to. It is just a framework. When it comes to literally every other country on the planet, there's nothing. Even those islands with the penguins, apparently the penguins just aren't negotiating. So he has nothing, and he has 9 days to come up with something. Oh, but don't worry, folks. Caroline Leavitt's all over it. Because Caroline Leavitt actually came out the other day and said, you know what? Deadlines don't matter. I'll get more into that in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. For weeks, the headlines have focused on how Trump's so-called beautiful bill would gut Medicaid. But almost no one's talking about MAGA loyalists slipping in the most dangerous legal loophole of all. Go to ground.news/ROF to see how they're trying to block federal judges from enforcing court orders against the executive branch unless you pay a bond first. Highly credible sources warn most Americans can't actually afford to do that, so if this bill passes and Trump violates the law, it wouldn't matter. This is the GOP's flood the zone playbook in action. Create chaos up top with Medicaid cuts and immigration panic so the real authoritarian moves fly under the radar. And it's exactly why I think Ground News is the best tool to expose these blind spots before it's too late. My partners have built the only app and website pulling in news from across the globe, then breaking down each source's bias, credibility, and the news the right tries to bury. And considering most people take the first headline they see as fact, if you're reading the news somewhere else, their browser extension will actually flag the source's bias and link other credible reports so you can verify the information. Ground News is a better version of how we're already staying informed. So I got my viewers 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I've been using. That's only $5 per month when you go to ground.news/ROF or scan my QR code. With at least another 4 years of this, they're counting on you to be distracted. This app is how you stay focused. So, as I mentioned, Caroline Leavitt is all over this. She is trying to put everybody at ease, and she told reporters late last week, quote, "The deadline is not critical." And to be honest, she's not wrong, except that she's also very wrong. Here's why both of those things are accurate, by the way. First and foremost, the deadline is not critical because it is an arbitrary deadline that Donald Trump created in his head and said, here's your deadline. So under that same logic, Donald Trump could just kick the can down the road again and say, you know what, deadline is August 12th. Deadline is September 2nd, right? He could just pick a new date and then suddenly we don't have to deal with 25% tariffs on pretty much every country on the planet. But the reason that this deadline is critical, and contrary, to what Leavitt said, is because Trump always chickens out. And now that he knows that we say that, he's mad and he's not going to chicken out. So if July 9th rolls around and he doesn't want to chicken out again, he's going to put the tariffs in place. So the deadline is critical because otherwise the cost of consumer goods is going to become just unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. So, as per usual, don't listen to Caroline Leavitt. She knows not of what she speaks. Instead, look at the fact that this man, this so-called great negotiator, comes into office, swears up and down he's going to get this done. Everybody's going to stop taking advantage of us. And he has whiffed and missed and struck out with every single country he has tried to work a deal with. Because that's what he is. Trump is finding out the hard way that you can't bully your way to trade deals. You can't bully foreign leaders the way you used to be able to, right? Back in the good old days. They know what he's up to, which is shocking because even he doesn't know what he's up to, but they've figured him out. They know how to play him. They know how to work him. And he doesn't know that they know that. And that's what's so hilarious about this. Or at least it would be hilarious if, of course, this didn't mean that we are facing 25% higher costs at least within the next 9 to 10 days. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.